Greetings, YouTubians, and welcome back to Wayne Sharp World. And as you can see here, we have a new backdrop. Let me know what you think. I like this a lot. I've got to work with my lighting a little. Kind of got a little glares going on, but overall, I like it. I like the these are half-inch squares, so obviously 2 squares is a full inch to give you a better idea of the length of a knife. And it also has some of these little, if you see it barely, this little swirly line down here in the middle. This actually folds up, so I'm going to be able to take it with me when I travel for work. So I'll be able to do some reviews on the road from the hotel for you guys. So be grateful. Actually, I'm kidding there. But no, I'm going to enjoy doing it. It'll help me have a little extra fun when I'm traveling and away from my whole collection and my immediate little home where I do my reviews. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And most importantly, I'm looking forward to getting into this knife. This is the Bestech Platypus, and I'm gonna be completely honest. I didn't know much of anything about this knife before it came out. I don't even know exactly when it was released. I think it's a newer one though, because I saw it was just made available at Knife Center. I got this from White Mountain Knives, and I bought this on the request from a viewer, a subscriber that messaged me on Instagram and said, "Hey, Wayne Sharp World, do you know about this knife? Are you going to review it? I'm thinking about buying it." And I had never heard of it. I thought it looked unique, and this was the same scale color he sent me a picture of, so I thought, you know what? Sure, why not? So I picked one up. And then about 10 minutes later, he messaged me again saying, "Hey, sorry, I just bought it. I couldn't wait." So, first of all, I don't blame that viewer there. I've been there, done that. I'll probably do it again, too. So, no worries there. I'm still really glad he did, because I have found a bit of a diamond in the rough here, a budget diamond in the rough. A lot of good things to say about this knife. A lot of good things. Speaking of subscribers, if you guys aren't subscribed to me, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I like to stay engaged with you guys. All it's going to do is continue to help grow this channel, and I will continue to bring you guys the content. Now, before we go any farther on this knife, let's cover some specs. We have an overall length of 8.23 inches, a close length of 4.81 inches, a blade length coming in at 3.43 inches, blade thickness of 0.13 inches with 19 thousandths behind the edge, so not bad, slightly above average, and it makes for, the blade shape, being a sheep's foot, makes for a very good EDC carry. We have blade material of D2, probably my least favorite thing about this knife. I'm just sick and tired of seeing D2. I'm just not going to hold back from that. Don't dislike it, but it just doesn't do anything for me anymore. Decent steel. Wish it didn't rust on me as much as it does. Handle width, we're looking at right about 0.85 inches. Handle thickness coming in at 0.57 inches. And this G10 is black, orange, and beige. Talk a little more about that too, because this is a little bit of a surprise to me. We have a flat grind with a satin stonewash finish, stonewash flat, satin grind, weight of 4 ounces, and a price of $52. So for $52, I'll just say this right now, no issues at all with the price. This is a fantastic knife for $52. Now, let's do some size comparisons. Ooh, see if we can get it to, that's good. Okay, so we have your TRM Atom, and we have your Benchmade Bug Out. As you can see, definitely longer than the Bug Out, and kind of on par lengthwise with the Atom, but nothing close to the ergonomic feel that you get from the Atom. But let me show you one that does, and there's going to be more comparisons with this knife here in a second, and don't just stop the video when you see this. This is the ZT, oh god, I forget. This is the ZT 0452? 0452. I'll explain later about this. It's longer, but the feeling in hand is, it's in the ballpark. It's in the ballpark. And another one that feels pretty good is the Spyderco Smock. These knives are more for thickness and length, but there's more comparisons to the 0452 that I'm going to bring up here just a bit later. but there's those for you. And that should be a pretty good idea of size comparisons. Now, let's talk about this blade, because this design here, and I don't know why I thought this at first, but I wasn't a big fan of the appearance of it on the pictures I saw. Again, I solely bought this because a viewer requested it, and I thought for $52, I've bought a lot worse knives, even if I don't like this, which is not the case. But it really grew on me when I saw it in person, got it in hand. It's a very good EDC blade. It has a pretty decent tip. We're having trouble focusing here. There we go. It has some very unique swedges up along the top of the nose, and a hole here that is, it works. It doesn't make it super fidgety, but it does work with the index finger, and I'm sure some people could maybe use a thumb and middle finger flick, but that doesn't work very well for me. Very nice jimping on the flipper tab here, which is another comparison where I'm going to bring back this 0452, and these two, for me personally, feel very similar. Not so much in the total overall action, but just the feel from right here when you're going to flip it. These feel very similar. I mean, obviously, because they look very similar. So no real surprise, but it's always, it's always a bit of a compliment when you're comparing a budget knife to a ZT. It just is. And even the ergos, they're similar thicknesses and similar lengths for the handle. My hands on this knife go pretty much all the way down to the butt, where on the 0452, obviously don't go down that far, but they cover the same amount, and the actual contouring of the scales aren't exact, but they're close enough to where I do feel some similarities. And I'm getting a little ahead of myself here, but this blade makes for a very good, just a beater EDC. For $52, you're getting a tough D2 blade with decent thickness on the spine to a thin enough edge to do any EDC task, but also enough to where if you had to get in and really dig something, that sheep's foot tip is going to be really nice for that. And it also has a very nice sharpening choil. Very nice sharpening choil, actually. That's going to be good for, I think that choil is going to last a lifetime for you. So it's always nice to see that. Now let's get into the handle and ergos, because these are some of the best ergos I've felt on a Bestech in a long time. Actually, they're probably second behind the Bestech Texel. Now, I will say I haven't held a lot of Bestech's premium models. I just haven't seen anything that really screamed at me. But I think they have. I'm one of the people that I think their budget designs look better than a lot of their premium designs, and I don't mean any negativity or offense by that. That's just a personal opinion. But I really do like the ergos on this. It's the handle kind of sits up a little, so the blade is a little more parallel with your hands. It's not, or the bottoms of your finger, it's not all the way up. So it'll make for a little easier use if you're, obviously you don't want to go making dinner with this knife, but a little easier chopping, and it just feels very good. I would not, you could maybe choke up if you want, but I probably wouldn't recommend that. Probably a little too close to that very nice sharpening choil. But it's got a nice deep carry clip, and this beige, God, what colors were they again? Black, orange, and beige G10. I didn't think I would like that at all, and I actually really do. The orange isn't too bright. The beige is not too dirty or browny. It's nice, light, sandy color. Then the black is a nice kind of darkness to mix in there with it. So I like that a lot more than I thought I would. I saw another handle color with, like, I think blue, orange, and beige that actually looked even better, but I didn't see that one available at White Mountain Knives, so this is the one I went with. The only thing that I'm not really a huge fan of on this knife here is this lanyard hole. It's a little too loud and proud for me. This would actually be maybe a decent knife to put a cool little short lanyard down at the bottom. I think it would just look good with the overall aesthetics. Lanyards, let's be real, the only purpose they serve is to help pull the knife out of your pocket, and they look cool. And I never have a problem pulling knives out of my pockets, so probably the biggest reason why I never put it on there, it actually makes it easier for someone else to pull it out of your pocket, which is another reason why I'm not a huge user of the lanyards. But other than that, handles and ergos are very, very nice, and it just feels very good. And of course, they also have very good access to the liner lock. It's good access, but they also do a good job of not being too noticeable with the liner. So when you look at it, it doesn't look like you have a whole lot of access, but you can get your thumb in there just fine, and you got to get past the detent ball, and it is a very, very smooth knife, leading us into the action, which is surprisingly great. Surprisingly great. I'm going to say the Texel was probably my favorite Bestech when it came to action, and the Bestech is still, or the Texel is still my overall favorite Bestech, but this is second, and this does have better action than the Texel, in my opinion. You can push it out, and it works just fine, but because of that flipper tab there, you can really just shoot it out with a light switch, and it's a very smooth knife. I don't know if I'd call it a fidget machine, but it is a very, very, very nice flipper. And like I said before, you can do the index flick, which I actually really like too. And the thickness and just overall width. I don't want to say this is a wide knife, but it feels really good in your hand, and it makes that index flip very friendly and fun to do. So it's just, overall, I tell you, I keep going back to it. This is definitely a budget knife, but if this had a stronger detent, there's a lot of things that remind me about the 0452 with this. Not looks whatsoever, just more feel, especially the flipper tab when deploying the blade. There are some similarities. Call me crazy, but I cannot lie. That's how I feel about this knife. And overall thoughts are just very, very good. Surprisingly good. So to the viewer who recommended this, thank you. Message me back on Instagram. I don't want to use your name because I never want to do that without permission of the viewer. But yeah, really good knife. Surprisingly good. If you guys like Bestech, you're going to love this. And if you don't like Bestech, or if you've never experienced Bestech, this would be a good one to try out, because for $52, it's hard to go wrong. Just really, really nice. I was planning on selling this, but it's not going anywhere now. There's not a lot of money I can make off selling it. I could probably get, mid to high 40s back on it, since it's a new knife, newly released knife, but not going to do that. I like it too much. So there you go. What do you guys think? What do you think of this blade shape? Do you like it? It's a little unique. Definitely a sheep's foot that reminds me of like a toucan bill or something, but I like it. I do like it. That is it. That's the Bestech Platypus for you guys. Let me know what you think. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Until the next one, I'm out.